Howdy y'all, this is AR Cavley and welcome back to my channel. Last time we left, the lead was flying and the lasers were blasting and zapping as two hovercraft of hired mercenaries were trying to kill our intrepid adventurers. Now, they got the worst of it, it looks like. As they were racing, they put some holes in the groups uh, not APCs, but hovercraft, and they got theirs kind of shot up, and they've suffered some casualties. Uh, from last time, the PCs were very close. They should have got hit. Well, not should have, but would have been hit if they weren't behind cover. And bullets and area fire values were flying everywhere, and I've now set it up so that the NPCs, the surviving NPCs, are on the map. Well, uh, except for this guy, Hazim Eldub. I thought he was on, but he actually ended up taking a shock point, and that does take NPCs out. So he was injured in the crash, if I remember correctly. So he's out, and so he's when I realized that, I just left him on there for effect. For all of the characters on here, the tokens, blue is their um, life levels, and red or blue is their consciousness levels. Red are their life levels. Um, Now for the NPCs, and probably I should maybe change ours. It's the blue is their initiative, and red is the number of hits that they take, the number of light wounds they take before getting incapacitated. So if they take a serious wound and whatnot, that counts as multiples. Um, but anyway, that's how I'm going to keep track of the NPCs. Uh, they have just stopped. Uh, let's see. The only person who was on the opposite team who was not either wounded or dazed or anything is Esteban Morillo, and that was just luck of the draw. Everyone else has been hit and will lose their actions for the turn as they recover. Now our team, they're going to spend their first action reloading, and because this is still just seconds, all this has happened in a pretty short time. Even though both of the hovercraft have stopped, and the people on board are kind of groaning and may not be uh, actively being aggressive right now. Our guys, they don't know. Xiao Mei is she's hunkering down. She actually has a decent coolness, so she doesn't lose her head, but she's not a fighter, and she doesn't she doesn't want to get shot, and she's completely ineffective at this range anyway with her stun pistol. Kind of the same with let's see, kind of the same with Horus. And let's see, for myself as well for the audience, I'm just going to go through the PCs real quick. Stefan Kellerman, a former scout, like space scout, exploratory scout. Gordon Wolford, a former, well, like I said, not former Marine, never former Marine, but a space military U.S. Marines. And Horace Mares, who is a colonist, basically kind of a survivalist kind of guy, and Xiao Mei, who is our resident scientist, who was an academic for a long time before deciding to get her fingers dirty out in the field as a contact specialist. So first action, reload. Horace is pretty much just going to stay there. Let's see. Abdallah, he was one I think that got. Yeah, so he loses his actions this turn. But I'm gonna count those guys as kind of being in cover. Either they're wounded and they're hunkering down because they're all still really inside the vehicle. So I'm gonna count them as being in cover, at least the ones that are incapacitated. Xiao Mei is going to stay. Let's see, since those guys are over here, I think she's going to move to a little bit more some better cover so that she's kind of crawling along the plenum of that hovercraft. And I think well, it's not his turn yet. Oh, he needs to reload anyway, I think. Yeah, he needs to reload anyway. Horace, I think, will also kind of get better cover for his turn. And our guy here, Gordon, he's reloading. Now, they both do have some kind of cover. But let's see. Esteban Murillo. He's over here. He's the only one. So he did just get, he was just in the wreck because that hovercraft, it came to a stop because the lasers completely blew out its suspension, so it ripped, or its mobility. Sorry, it took mobility hit, so it blew out the fans, and it came to a sliding halt across the underbrush of Beta Canum 4. Let's see. Because he was just in a crash, I think I'm going to make a call that he has to. He's going to have to do a coolness check to see if he does anything except hunker down for his turn. Oops, sorry. Moved my box there. Okay, so he is just he's going to sit down there and he's going to spend his turn because he is also he's green, so he's kind of freaked out. These guys weren't really supposed to fire back. And so this turn, he's going to stay down in cover, yelling at the other people in his vehicle. Now in his vehicle, we have one incapacitated, one KIA. Pascal got the laser bolt in the back of the head from the laser rifle. All right, so first turn, everyone's reloaded. And down. So next phase of the turn. Let's see, what's Gordon gonna do? All right, so there's no obvious targets because that guy's out of it, and this guy is, like I said, he's down, like hunkered down from being stunned or getting defensive. So I think for his second turn, he's going to find a place that gives him better cover from both directions. Because now that they've passed, if someone over here starts shooting from that direction, then he might not find himself in better cover. So he's going to find cover for his second action, and I think so will Stefan. So now they've basically got one person covering each vehicle and are behind cover against the other. So they move. No one else is going to act. Let's see. Horace. Now he's not dumb. Let's see. She's going to stay down. He's got his pistol up, but there's no way he's really going to get any good shots off. But he's going to do that. He's just going to stay there. All right, so next turn, I think, let's see. But at this point, I'm gonna roll a couple more damage rolls on those hovercraft because there's a lot of bullets, and I don't think I really added enough bullets to because they were under area fire from two separate weapons. I think I rolled a couple, and there were some suspension hits. But let's see. So they don't know the state really of their own vehicles, and now they're not really sure what to what to do with these guys. So I think he's going to cover. He's going to cover, and I think let's see. He moved. Let's see. Is it a move and an action, or is it two separate actions? Is move an action? Let me check. All right, as I thought, movement is an action that they take on their turn. So, um, let's see. Is he going to? Because now obviously it's been a little bit. Uh, Nuzir, the scorpion, who's still alive. He's obviously um, he's alive. There is still some movement, and I think Gordon is going to go ahead and he's gonna pop off. He's gonna pop off some shots at Nuzir. Now Nuzir is still pretty much in cover, but he's no longer stunned. Um, and I'm going to say that he is pretty much behind full cover. I might give him, if it hits the head, maybe I'll count that as not being behind armor. But he's going to basically go ahead and shoot his three at Nazir. I'll give him the armor value of the vehicle, which at close range for his M2 has a damage point value of 2 versus this 1, so he might still hit. Let's see. So we're going to use at this distance. I think the way I've got the map set up, it's set to meters, kind of per hex, but um, so he's 117 meters, certainly within close range. So 3 shots, 6 or better, since he's aiming for him, and he has a combat rifleman of 2. So 6 or better with these. Oh, miss, miss. Come on, he should have been firing. Okay. All right, so one hit. Let's see where that hits him. All right, so 1 does hit. Where's it hit at? The 8. So that's going to be a hit to the leg. I'm pretty sure. Yes. So hits him in the lower left leg. Let's see, they don't have any there, so that's going to be a 1 DPV. I think that's going to be a light wound. Bang, bang, bang. All right, DPV is 1 or higher. Yeah, light wound and knocked down. So that's going to be his second light wound. So he is now incapacitated. Oops, wrong one. There we go. All right, so those are both. Everyone there is incapacitated. Of course, Gordon doesn't necessarily know that they're all incapacitated because there's still dust settling and everything. Because that one crashed when the driver got killed. Um, all right. So we'll take him out. Let's see, who is that? Nuzir. All right, so Horace, okay, he's not gonna do anything. He's pretty much gonna stay there. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give one I'm gonna give one vehicle damage roll because I'm gonna assume that at least one of those things hit the vehicle. Um, 7 armament, so that's just gonna hit somebody at random because there's no armament on that vehicle. Let's see. All right, so there are two. Let's see, one's dead. Okay. So who's a random person? I guess the dead guy could also get it. All right, so second guy. All right. Does she get hit? 3. All right, so that's in the chest or in the torso. Serious wound, but they do have armor. What do they got? Inertial vest. So it's 1 to go through and then point 0.8. So uh, only a 0.2 for what's left to see if he gets a serious shock wound or shock there, or whether he just gets another light wound. Okay, so he does get another light wound. He was incapacitated already, but we'll go ahead and we'll just mark it just in case. So that was just a random shot from Gordon's weapon. 9. All right, horse not going to do anything. All right. Abdallah. Right, he has now recovered. Let's see. What is he gonna do? Are they gonna try to run? I mean, they're sitting there, they haven't been able to get, yeah, probably even hasn't really even been long enough to try to raise the other team or anything. One change that I've decided to make is I like that deck of cards, but when I'm doing just yes, no, I really just prefer to roll some dice because it's just easier. I don't have to open up the case and possibly shuffle cards or anything. So um, I'm just going to use a d6 for the yes, no, and it's going to depend on whether it's likely, unlikely, or whatnot. And then this modifier die, if it's a 1, then it's going to be and if it's a 6, it's going to be but. So just to modify those things. So is he going to try to flee? He's got a coolness under fire of 5. Is he interested in fleeing or is he going to press it? So is he going to try to flee? I'm going to say it's unlikely, so that's going to just be like maybe a 5 or 6. All right. So no, he's not going to try to flee, so he's going to pop up on his action and let's see. Is he going to try to go area fire? I think that's probably likely. They're all shot up and he's kind of freaked out, so um all right. So Abdallah, let's see. Yeah. All right, so he's going to use his they have the Wu Beijing type 49. All right, rate of fire 2. Area fire range is 500 meters. How far is he from this area here? Uh, I know here it looks like they're pretty far apart, but I think they're probably a little closer to kind of circle the wagons. But we'll just use so it's about 240. Let's see. So I guess that okay. So the area fire range on that thing is 500. So that's going to put it at close range. So area fire value of 2. And he's gonna He's gonna fire. He's gonna fire off 20. Maybe I could use an ammo. Use one of the things for ammo. All right. So rate of fire of 2, area fire value of 2. So that's going to be 4. Um, and I think what I'll probably do is, instead of rolling separate for the vehicles, since there's 2 people who are not going to get hit just from the angle, Xiao Mei and Horace, they're like completely hidden behind from these guys. And um, actually, I guess really the only person that's really at risk is Stefan, because everybody else was behind cover from these guys. But every hit that would hit someone else that is in full cover, I'm just going to apply to the vehicle. All right, so let's go ahead and start with Stefan, since that's going to be the bad one, or the worst one. All right, so burst value of 4. All right, so Stefan is not hit. Xiao Mei, okay, is not hit. Gordon, okay, 1 hit, but he's behind cover. And Horace, 1 hit. So that there, I'm going to say 2. All right, area fire value for that, or for that damage. Okay, DPV is going to be 1.4. Since it's doubled it close. And the hit's going to go. All right, so one's going to hit the plenum, the other hits the bottom. So that guy's going to take basically one hit to the plenum, to suspension. The other one's going to hit a body. 5 armament. Okay, so there's no one in there to hit, and it doesn't have any armament, so that's just going to go. It's going to put another nasty hole in the vehicle. All right, Xiao Mei. Let's see. Should I make Stefan roll? Should I make him roll his um, coolness to fire again? Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I have been kind of treating them as NPCs in that sense, but I think in this case, because nothing really seemed to come close to hitting him, I'm gonna say no, because it didn't even hit the vehicle. So I'm gonna say that the burst, since it missed him and Xiao Mei, I'm gonna say not. So what he's going to do is, uh, there are now 2 people. Now Esteban Murillo, he's got the same, so um, he's going to act in the same turn. But I think he's going to fire, since they're both kind of popping up, like say over out of the, leaning out of the vehicle. They're both in cover, but I think he can see them both. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to shoot at each one twice. Um, Now he does have 5 shots, but I think he's just going to zap each one twice. Like pew 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 pew. That seems right. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that is close range. So for his laser is definitely close range. That thing's pretty accurate. So he puts the little reticle and fires. All right, so 2 at Abdallah Kalb, 2 hits, and 2 on Esteban. All right, 1 hit. All right, Abdallah is hit. All right, 2 and 10. So Two's going to be a chest shot, and with that DPV of it's a DPV of 4. So and it's a death shot. He's got 0.8 for inertial, so that's going to take care of Abdallah as the F-19 blasts through. His chest sparks in the as his armor burns and superheats, and the resulting expansion, explosion, the dumping of jewels into his chest has now taken this guy out. All right. Also, something I was thinking about, because I would say this system is particularly crunchy, except there are some things to take care of. But if I do something that I've got backwards or whatever, then feel free to comment and let me know. I have a fairly good grasp, but there's a lot of moving parts. All right, so that guy's dead. Let's see, where's Esteban Morillo hit with his 1 laser beam? All right, 7, so that's going to be in the leg. So that's going to put him, let's see, Esteban. All right, so that is going to definitely light wound and knocked down. Now he's green, so that's going to put him at 0 and incapacitated. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong button there. However, Esteban's actions are at the same, so that's simultaneous. So as Stefan is blasting away and taking care of business, I think he's also going to area fire. He's kind of gonna follow his comrade, since the senior guy is going all out. He's going to do the same, and it'll be the same thing. Let's see. Stefan is, whoops, dang it, die. Stefan is the only one really at risk this time around. Okay, so Stefan is hit. He's in cover, so let's see where he gets hit. 10. Left arm. So he has no armor there, so it's going to be 1.4. There's going to be a light wound. So he's going to be, all right, so his initiative is going to be reduced by 1. It's not going to really matter that much since since the combat's effectively over. But so he gets winged in the arm. He falls back as the bullets go flying. Let's see, Xiao Mei. No. Gordon. Yes. Okay, so Gordon. So since that's 1/4, so that means the vehicle, because he's still in cover. And if he were like hiding inside, then I would just subtract the armor and see what happened. But he's behind the whole vehicle, so these shots would have to go all the way through. So I'm just going to count it as cover. But the vehicle is going to take 2 hits, and then let's see about old Horace. Okay, so no. All right, 2 hits on the vehicle. 3. Okay, crew, and 9. Oh man, catastrophic. All right. Catastrophic. That would that sucks. 1 second, one round away. Let's see. I know, if I remember, that okay, catastrophic. The vehicle is destroyed and the crew is killed. Well, there's no one in it, so I'm going to say that round maybe hit what was left in the hydrogen tank there, And I'm not going to make it explode and kill everybody, but I think it does. Uh, it hits, and then the interior catches fire and pretty much ruins everything that's in there. Um, of course, the main thing is the fuel center. Um, Actually, did their fuel center get deployed? I can't remember now if they had it. Um, if they had it out or not and were using it. Well, I'm not going to go back and watch the video. So what I'm going to just do is I'm going to say 50-50 chance that their fuel station got destroyed, either from the hail of bullets that was going through or because it was in there. So 50-50, 4 or higher, it is destroyed. Okay, so it's not destroyed. And the one, I always forget if that's an and or a but. Let's see, where'd you go? One is a but. All right, this is my Forge. It's a D20 game, but it has awesome tables in it that I use. So the fuel station is not destroyed, but I think all of the fuel that it had in it was destroyed. It downloads into, or it downloads it processes the cracked water and puts it into a hydrogen cell. And so I'm going to say the hydrogen cell that it was filling up is now destroyed. So they're going to have to start over. Of course, now they've only got one left. All right, so Stefan, he gets knocked down. He shouts and he crawls. He stumbles back so that he ducks back behind cover as a result of that. So the next turn, the combat's over. So everyone is incapacitated on the enemy side. Now our guys don't know that yet. So Gordon is covering, and he's yelling at Stefan to get back at his post and to cover those guys. Stefan's probably the first time he's ever been shot, so he's not reacting too well. Let's see. This one I will give him coolness. See how he's dealing with it. 5. All right, so that's a fail. But I'm gonna say, well, let's roll and see. All right, 8 for. Let's say that as a fail. What is that? For a catastrophe, or not a catastrophe, but the fail, an 8. Okay, so check determination. All right, I'll give him a determination roll, and if he can make his determination roll, he's okay. Stefan, determination 3. All right. Okay. All right. Nope. Stefan's he's a spaceship. He's a starship pilot. He is not some kind of crazy ground pounder, and he does not like that he's been shot at all. So he's not getting up there. He's sitting back, just kind of staring at his arm because, like I said, it's the first time he's been shot. And when he got shot, that means there were bullets flying everywhere. And he is definitely reconsidering his life choices working for Rebco SAR. All right. So Gordon, he's going to, let's see. All right, he's going to tell Xiao Mei to get a drone ready and go look at the other vehicle while he's covering this one. He's covering this one. You can't see where I'm pointing. He's covering this one with his weapon, ready to just unload that M2. And while she's getting that, he's going to start shouting. Now they are, like 200 meters away or something like that. Or 100 meters away. They're 100 meters away. So he's gonna have to pull forward that voice, and he's shouting at them to surrender, come out, throw down your weapons, or I'm gonna ventilate that. I'm gonna kill every one of you. Um, there's no movement. Um, so he waits for a little bit. Excuse me. He waits. Stefan is sitting there, still staring at his arm. Uh, Zhao Mei, let's see. She may decide that he needs medical attention instead of doing the drone. Um, let's see. Is she going to follow the orders? Is she going to recognize, the Gordon's what Gordon's saying is probably right. Give her a coolness under fire. Okay, so she does. Um, oh, what is her? I think her coolness under fire is 6. So she may have made that. Uh, oh no, her coolness is 5. So she doesn't panic, but it doesn't mean that. It just means that she's not going to, follow Mr. Tactical Expert. Um, does she do what he says, or is she going to help Stefan? I think I think it's likely that she's probably going to help Stefan. She's an academic, so on a 3 or higher, she's going to help Stefan instead. Okay. Oh no. So she doesn't help Stefan, but let's see. That is a but. Oh no, and so she doesn't help Stefan, and so uh, that's gonna help. Uh, and she realizes that it is a good to do it on her own. So she gets the drone out, and she gets it up in the air almost immediately. So even though she didn't like snap to out of obedience, she thought it was a good idea, and she sent the drone over. Um, and what she can kind of see inside. He's still watching them. Um, she can. So that vehicle. Let's see. So there are. Let's see. Yeah, Nazir. Oh, whoops, wrong one. All right, so Esteban is out of it, and all right, so they only have the people are incapacitated after being. Oh no, he's actually I think he was KIA, right? He got. Oh no, Abdallah got zapped. That's right, he got killed. He's KIA, and then Esteban, he just got taken out with a zap to the leg, I think. All right, so she can tell that two of the people um, who have because the laser that powerful laser leaves some pretty gaping holes in people. So she can tell two are dead, two are injured because they're kind of they're down and they're rolling and moaning. They're doing the Peter Griffin. Ah, ah. But um, and so she shouts her report what she sees. Gordon, seeing that uh, he's not, or seeing that there's still no movement out of the other vehicle, he knows he needs to go. Um, so he's gonna slap Horace and tell him to come with, and he's gonna try to make one last appeal to order Stefan to stop to get back into position to get his weapon back in the fight. Okay, and it does have leadership, but it's only 0. He's used to dealing with people that actually listen to him. But let's see what does he do? 7. Okay, all right. You know what? I think that's gonna work. So Stefan, even though it is his first time getting shot and everything else, as Gordon yells at him, "Get your weapon back in the fight! Cover that vehicle!" And Stefan, um, he's lightly wounded. I mean, he's got a hole in him. He's bleeding, but he realizes that he's not going to die right away. His arm's starting to throb real bad, but he sees the necessity of having to do it. Especially, I suspect, Zhao Mei is sitting there and saying, "Get up, get up, get up! You're fine. Get up." And so he does get his weapon back over here to where he's covering this vehicle. And then we're going to go. He's not really going to do any buddy rushes or anything since he's kind of by himself, but he's going to move, get down and cover, get up and move, get down and cover. He knows that Horse's little pistol is not going to provide much. And he gets in. His some of his hair may be scorched from having taken cover behind the hovercraft that burned up with the last bullet fired by the bad guys. That would have been bad. That would have been terrible if they were actually in the vehicle, because then both of them would have been dead because of the last bullet fired by the bad guys. All right, so he comes around. And he's clearing. Don't move, don't move. And in this one, let's see. All right, so there's one KIA. That was the one that he shot from before. One guy has a huge goose egg on his head from the crash. He's bloody, but he's still alive. And there are also. There are also two in there beside the leader, Nassim, who was actually the head of the little company, the little platoon. He's out. He's bleeding. He from the crash. He split his head on the console or a panel or something. He's not moving. But the other two are. Out. Let's see. Yes, that was a light. All right. So three there are still alive, but they're incapacitated. So Gordon. He's got his weapon in their faces. They're not really reacting. Some of them they're in shock. They're terrified, and he's going to have Horace disarm them and. I don't know if he wants to try to carry all their weapons or whatnot, but he basically tells them to throw their weapons out. Horse collects weapons, and Gordon starts pulling people out on the ground and has them lined up so that they don't move. And Horace searches. Horace feels a little uncomfortable kind of doing this because it's new for him too. Let's see. I'm gonna give him a coolness roll, see if he freaks out or anything. He's lived in the wilderness for a pretty long time. So instead of that, I'm gonna say, does he have any issue? I'm gonna say it's very unlikely because one, they just got shot at a bunch. So only on a 6 is there going to be any kind of have some kind of issue. No. All right. So he gets out. He helps. He's got his pistol on him. He strips their weapons, their magazines, and let's see. And he does want to. They have anything? Let's see. They have anything handy to secure them with? Let's see. What a comp. I mean, if nothing else, they can just cut, clothes and make things like that. But someone may have some kind of rope. Let's see. I'm gonna say that they do find. It's pretty likely that they find something in this that they can use to tie him up. either, rope. I mean, they're, traveling across country, so I'm going to say it's pretty certain that they do have rope. Oh, okay, so yes, they do have rope. And so they secure everyone, they tie them up, and when they're secured, they kind of do the same thing. They hustle over to the next one, and when the characters are incapacitated, when they're unconscious or whatever, you're supposed to roll like per hour to see. So these guys are hurt, and one of the things I do kind of like about the damage system is even though it's a light wound, that light wound still implies that you got a hole blasted blasted in you, and so things aren't just peachy with you. So they may not be necessarily completely unconscious, but they're in shock. Uh, they're in a lot of pain, and I think they go ahead and they get this. They do the same. They get their stuff, and I think Horace will actually. Well, let's see. Does Horace even know how to use a rifle? Well, he doesn't know how to use a rifle, but he can auto fire and do an auto do the auto spray. So if he's like just firing the whole thing, so I think he's probably going to take one of those weapons from them, just in case. Let's see. See, Xiao Mei, I think. Okay, this is first aid. Who's got first aid? All right, Stefan's got first aid. Oh, okay. Horace actually, being the survivalist, uh, he's got he's got first aid pretty well. Um, now that they're captured, Zhao Mei, I think, and maybe Horace too. Yes. All right. So Zhao Mei and Horace, they both feel that the wounded of the attackers, now that they're subdued and captured, that they should at least be given first aid to treat their wounds. And so they're going to do that. And while first aid is being provided, okay, so that's 4, 5, 6. All right, so Horace treats uh, Stefan first. Just patches up his arm. Say, "Oh, that. You'll be fine, buddy. You'll be fine, buddy." And let's just give a roll to see how he does on the others. Okay, so pretty much everybody who is incapacitated, he treats their wounds. Some of them have, kind of severe, laser blasts to their legs, and so they are patched up. And so they have, let's see, who we got? One, two, three, four, five. So they have 5 prisoners. Um, do they feel? I'm not sure that they think this is necessarily anything, but as they're tied up, and Gordon is going to start. Um, he's going to start asking the questions. Um, who sent you? Why are you here? What the hell is wrong with you? Um, and try to basically the thing he wants to find out is why they're there, because it seemed like they were, maybe a little more engaged than just being bandits. And of course, they still do have that, that French item. Um, let's see. So I'm going to give uh, Nazim, who's the leader. Of course, he's going to probably talk to a bunch of them, pull them off to the side, and but we'll say Nazim. Um, how is he as far as his coolness? All right, so that normally Nazim would make it, but because he has shock points, I'm going to say that that he's probably ready to uh, he's ready to talk. He's ready to tell what he knows. Um, but we also know that he was just hired as a third party. So he may not know anything except he took he took the contract. Does he know who actually hired him? I'm going to say that it's unlikely because the French intelligence person, the shadowy person in the background, which I'll develop later, uh, that person, the main goal that they want is to keep distance from this hit. Um, but of course, Gordon, it's been a while since anyone shot at him, and these guys were really aggressive, like actually trying to kill him. So he wants to know. But do they know? I'm going to say only on a 5 or better. Oh, so he does know. I'm going to say he suspects that he since it wasn't a and, I'm going to say that he suspects that it was that it's somebody in French intelligence. So as he's sitting there, um, Gordon he's not really beating him or anything. He's trying to be intimidating, and his dander's still up. They did get shot at an awful lot, and one of them got wounded. So as he's pressing and pressing, and he finally Hazim says, "Look, I think it's French intelligence, someone in the government. We get our contract through like a 5-party system. Okay, that's it. You did something that somebody up in the government of Premier does not like. I don't ask questions. They pay me the livre, and I shoot my gun at people. That's all. That's how it works." All right. And I think that's probably about all he's going to get, and that's about all that uh, uh, Hazim is knows. So they decide that takes a while. Um, so let's see. Did they get shot? No, they're good. Okay. All right. So I think while they're doing that, he's going to have Horace. He's going to take the fuel out of the fuel cell out of the one hovercraft that hasn't been completely blown to pieces, and they're going to refuel that one while Gordon's doing that. Um, and we'll just set these guys. They're all tied up. Um, let's see. Not really a not really the type to go and murder, POWs as such, even though they're not really, they were hired to assassinate him, so he's probably a little more uh, willing to, but I just don't think any of the other folks are really going to be on board with that. But um, they also don't want to, they can't have these 5 prisoners, even if some of them are wounded. They may decide that they're going to get, you know, uh, they're going to get froggy or whatever. Um, so they're going to lead them, unless I'm going to say it's very, very unlikely that they decide that they're going to actually try to finish these guys off, because I just don't see it. Um, Okay, so um, no and, or is that no but? Yeah, I need to write that down somewhere because I keep forgetting. I get it is okay. So one is but. Let me write that down. One equals but, and six equals and. All right. So they're not going to shoot them, but they don't really have a problem just leaving them there tied up to give them time to escape. So what they're going to do is they're going to make sure that they're going to leave them one vehicle. The radio probably works, and I don't even they'll leave them their food, and there's probably a radio in there, but they are going to leave them all tied up. So it's going to take them a while to free themselves, and they're going to leave their vehicle, and they're going to make sure that they don't have they're going to take their own fuel, the bandits' fuel cracker. So they have a vehicle, so they'll have some kind of shelter. They may be able to figure something out, and plus they are, they're not super far away. Let's see, where were we? Yeah, so they're not super far away from possible. Yeah, we'll just leave it over there. They're not very far away from civilization. I mean, you know, could be a pretty long way, uh, but if they get to walking, if they can, use the radio, they might be able to get some help. But so now as they've decided that they're going to go ahead and leave those people tied up. They load up. They're just all going to load up into their one remaining vehicle. They're going to transfer, make sure that they get all the sensors and the data because they of course they still want to get paid for their original job. And there's there's going to be a little discussion about the orange box because obviously that's the only thing they can think of that they did because they didn't do anything with it, but they took the orange box. Now, on the one side, there is the one school of thought is going to be that, well, let's just get rid of it. Let's just, give it to these people and then they'll stop killing it. But those people did not say that their job was to collect the orange box, it was to kill them. So, like a witness removal. So, that point is kind of countered by the fact that the orange box might still be worth leverage or maybe even some money. Um, but they don't, I don't think they get the idea that they can really like barter with the box. Um, let's see. But I'm gonna say it's unlikely, mostly because Stefan now double so he had already stolen that orange box because of not necessarily a hatred of the French, but loyalty to the former Bavarian, now German colony. But I'm gonna say it's unlikely that they decide to just get rid of it. Okay, so they don't. Um, but one of the things that once that table that I use has is that when you're rolling, if you roll doubles, and I know that I sometimes roll them and then don't miss it because I'm just answering questions, that there is some kind of event, some kind of random event. So they take off and then they're discussing, and once they've got packed up, they've driven, they have everything. They know they're not going to give the box to those people probably, um, but they drive off, and then something happens, and we will finish up. We'll decide what that is that happens, and what they decide to do next, um, in our next session. So thank you very much. That was a pretty interesting gunfight, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. And happy gaming.